We are happy to introduce a new face to you with an organization that has been doing great work in the Chattanooga area for 60 years in the month of September. The organization is CADAS. Knox Farmer has very happily come our way, happily for us, over the years. But he's happy this morning because Mary Catherine Gentry is the new Director of Development for CADAS, and you're smiling too. So
That's
welcome
right.
to you both.
Well, thank you, Julie. Thank you.
60 years, September
Correct.
24th for
Right.
CADAS.
Right.
I think it's interesting because I'm sure 60 years ago, the problems and the issues that CADAS was focusing on, the founders would have never dreamed that
No.
today's issues would be a thing.
Very much different than what they had probably envisioned.
Did it begin, Knox, from an alcohol standpoint? That was the
It
substance
did. It
abuse?
did back in 1964. You know, alcohol was very, very prevalent. We didn't have the poly drugs that we have now. We didn't have the issues that we have now with fentanyl and the other drugs that have come on the scene. And so
Right.
it's a very different landscape.
Well, and it's so pervasive, and I'm sure that you'll find this, Mary Catherine, as you go out with the development, because you just wanted to talk to people this morning to kind of remind people of the work that CADAS does and why it's a good place to put your donation dollars if you're in a position. But everybody, it seems like, is impacted now by substance abuse, by hook or by crook.
Absolutely, Julie. You're exactly right. And, you know, addiction just does not discriminate. It's across the board, and it's happening in adolescent children all the way up through adults, you know, but yeah.
So with CADAS, when people come to you, do they come, is it as a voluntary thing, or can a family member reach out and say, hey, I'm concerned about my son, can you help?
Both. We have, you know, you can come voluntary, you can come, we do have some that are there that are court ordered, that are in lieu of sentencing that are there. And we're one of the few treatment centers around, at least within a 100-mile radius that I know, that offers a full continuum of care. So we can actually have somebody come in if they need medical detox. We can actually treat them for 2 years and out, and provide transitional housing services for them as well.
So are you finding, I know you're new in your
Yes.
post, so you don't have a ton of data yet
That's
to
right.
present to me, but are you finding in your conversations with people that even though CADAS has been around for 60 years, there are still people who don't understand the work they do?
You know, you're exactly right about that. And I didn't realize all the programs that they offer. And, you know, every day that I'm there, I become more grateful that I'm there, and I learn so much about each and every program and the directors of each program. You know, CADAS has some great directors. You know, they're really top notch. And a lot of them have been there a long time. A lot of them are in recovery. But you know, there are so many programs that they offer, the adolescent program, family life, and so on and so forth, and that a lot of people in the community don't realize all that they offer.
Well,
you know?
and they need to, because those dollars need to come in to make sure that those programs stay in place.
Right.
Exactly.
And then the people who need the programs need to know the accessibility of it, not just from the times offered, but from the acceptance when you come in those doors. There were a couple of moms on the show with me recently, and they each of them had lost a son to fentanyl. And they recently had a big event in Lookout Valley, and they called it Stopping the Stigma, because that was their biggest burden, I think, besides losing their children, was the stigma that unfairly was wrapped around it.
Oftentimes that's the biggest hurdle that somebody tries to get over, is dealing with seeking recovery, is the stigma that goes with it. So they're reluctant to, you know, to seek help. And so unfortunately we've lost a lot of lives because of the shame and the stigma associated with that.
And isn't it kind of an ironic thing? I won't make y'all preach, but it's kind of an ironic thing, because we all talk, I think, in our daily lives about the importance of forgiveness and mercy and seeing somebody, you know, there before the grace of God kind of thing, and yet when it comes right down to giving somebody that grace, we don't always do it.
Exactly true. That's right.
So if somebody is interested in either using CADAS or in helping you, Mary Catherine, are you going into businesses, or what are you doing from a development perspective?
So I'll be planning fundraising events, and also talking with going in and out of businesses as well to get sponsorships for the events. But you know, a lot of the events aren't necessarily about raising money, it's about community awareness as well, and helping the community and being a part of the community.
And I guess employers need to understand more about it, because chances are within their workforce there's somebody.
Absolutely, very good point, yes.
And in terms of accessing care with you, Knox, Do they have to be referred in? Can they just simply call?
They can call our main number, and they can call direct. You have a direct admit into CADAS. They don't have to have a referral by any means, so they can call us and get with us, and we can actually schedule an assessment and determine the level of care for them.
Within the programming, if it's not the individual substance abuser calling you, but it's a family member or a friend, will someone there kind of guide through how to have the conversation?
Absolutely.
And there are support groups
Yes.
too?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
And we'll have some other projects. We have some other projects coming up probably in the middle of next year that will help to expand our services, and so there's a big need for housing and transitional housing, so we have some things that we can't unveil just yet, but they're on the
horizon?
Yes, they are, and we're excited about
And
it.
isn't it interesting, because of course you're born and bred right here.
That's right.
Born and raised right here.
That's right.
And yet there are so many layers of life in our community, things that you discover that are new every day. You wouldn't have known if you hadn't stepped into this role.
Well, you're exactly right.
Good for you.
Yes, thank you.
So here's the information for CADAS, whether you are looking to support them, whether you'd like to have an event planned and maybe have Mary Catherine come to meet with you at your business or your church.
That's right.
Or if you are in need of their care, cadas.org is your website, 756-7644 is their phone number, and for 60 years, at the end of September, they've been helping people with these very needs, so they know what they're doing and they've got the proof to back it up. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Jill.